What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to talk about the brand new 7-star Cinderace raid event happening on December 30th and what's the best Pokemon to use against this Cinderace. And of course, guys, you're new to the channel, enjoy these types of videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. So let's break down Cinderace first so we know what we're trying to defeat here. Cinderace is a very fast and a very strong fire-type Pokemon, but it is going to have a fighting tera, but we got to be worried about fire type moves as well, especially a base 116 attack. This thing is going to hit us hard, and if it's like the Charizard raid, it's probably going to be in adamant nature, so it's going to hit even harder than normal. Defenses wise though, it's not that bulky. 80 HP, 75 defense, and 75 special defense means this thing is going to be susceptible to super effective attacks, and it's not going to be too bulky. Even though 7-star raids have a lot of HP and bulk in general, it's probably not going to be as bulky as the Charizard raid was. Now, looking at the move set that Cinderace could have in the raid battle, there are some absolute threats we're going to have to worry about. Pyro Ball is the signature move of Cinderace, and there is no way that Cinderace does not have this, so we're going to have to watch out for this base 120 fire physical move that will have stab. So this is probably going to be our most important thing we're going to have to worry about in general. Other big things you have to worry about is high jump kick, another massive 130 physical fighting type attack, and it will have stab because of the fighting tera. So that's going to be a big problem. Now, there are a couple other moves to cover coverage. We don't know what it's necessarily going to have, but Sucker Punch is a big problem for sure, and the Pokemon I suggest have ways of dealing with Sucker Punch if it happens to have it. It could have Bounce as a possibility. Sort of don't think it necessarily will. Other big moves that it could potentially have that could be a problem for us is Electro Ball, can beat some water types. Iron Head and Gunk Shot are probably the two scariest moves for, like, if you have a fairy type Pokemon, this will absolutely wreck a fairy. And I actually will bet that Iron Head will be on the moveset. Gunk Shot could be too, but 80% accuracy isn't going to make it as scary as it could be, but it could be there. But there's a lot of moves. I mean, Zen Headbutt as well is another one. There's a lot of coverage going on for physical moves that this Cinderace could have. And now for our Cinderace counters, and our first one is going to be Armarouge. In Armarouge, we're going to be building max HP with max special attack, modest nature, and the ability Flash Fire, which makes us immune to all of its fire moves from the Cinderace. And since we're a psychic type, we resist the fighting. What I love about this Pokemon is one of the few Pokemon that can set up and debuff the Cinderace in this raid series, which is really exciting. Acid Spray is a phenomenal move. Acid Spray does 40 damage, but also lowers the opponent's special defense stat by 2. And because it is an attacking move, this will go through shields. And since it's a fighting type and it's not going to be a steel type, we're going to be good to go with this Acid Spray. So this is actually going to be huge. And I can imagine that if you have a team of people 4 Armarouges, turn 1, everyone uses Acid Spray. Now that Cinderace is at -6 special defense, and you can start popping off on it. Calm Mind is going to be our best way to increase our special attack. Unfortunately, our special defense stat does not matter here because I assume it's going to be all physical. And Psychic Terrain is going to be really nice because Psychic Terrain is going to give us a terrain boost, which one increases the damage of Psychic type moves, but also prevents priority moves from occurring, which means we're going to be immune to Sucker Punch because Sucker Punch is a dark type priority move. We're weak to dark, so this is going to allow us to dodge that Sucker Punch. And then Expanding Force is a base 80 stab psychic move here. However, because with Psychic Terrain up, is going to do even more damage. It's going to get a 1.5 times damage boost. So Expanding Force is going to do a ton of damage for us. Now, if you want to slightly change this up, you can switch Expanding Force out for something like Stored Power. And Stored Power will do more damage for the more Calm Minds you actually have up. One Calm Mind increases Stored Power's damage by plus 40 base power. So one Calm Mind means Stored Power is going to do 60 damage. 2 Calm Minds mean Stored Power is going to be doing 80 damage, and so on and so forth. So that's another really good build too, but I'm going to prefer Expanding Force on this, but Stored Power may be the better build for the one-shot. Of course, you can go defensive Armarouge too. This thing has Reflect and Will-O-Wisp, which are both going to be very viable moves as well. And our item's going to be Terrain Extender. Next up is Slowbro, which may be the sleeper hit Pokemon of this raid series. And some people be thinking Slowbro, want to run it defensively. Well, I'm going to run mine full offensive. We're going max HP, max special attack on Slowbro, because Slowbro already has an incredible defense and HP stat, so we need to maximize that special attack and do as much damage as possible. The ability Oblivious is going to be pretty good just in case something tries to taunt us. We don't have to worry about that. Now, we have Terrain Extender as our item and Psychic Terrain because I am afraid of Sucker Punch, and this will boost the damage of our Psychic type moves. Now, Slowbro gets a Nasty Plot and Iron Defense. Both of these increase our stats by +2. Iron Defense +2 defense, which is going to be huge because we assume the Cinderace is going to be all physical, and Nasty Plot +2 special attack. The beauty of this is we have the move Stored Power, and as I mentioned, whenever you get a boost, it's going to add 20 more damage points. So Nasty Plot is 2 boosts, that's going to put us 60. So when we have 3 Nasty Plots, when we're at +6, 6 times 2 is 120. This is going to be a 140 base power move. And then you can do the same thing with Iron Defense. So if you had 6 Iron Defenses and 6 Nasty Plots, that is going to be a crap ton of damage coming out from the Stored Power. And what I really like about Iron Defense is because this is going to be a full physical Cinderace, we can just set up Iron Defenses and not die. Some people could say, well, I could run Slack Off here, and you're not wrong. But for this type of build, the Iron Defense is going to give us that survivability still, and then we can turn that survivability into massive damage, which is why I really like Stored Power, Iron Defense, and Nasty Plot. Of course, Nasty Plot increases their special attacking stat, which means the Stored Power is getting boosted on the base damage-wise, but then you got to multiply it on top of the boosted special attack stat as well. And I think there's potential for Slowbro to one-shot, especially if you have Armarouge is doing the Acid Spray tech against it. So this is a Pokemon to look out for. And next up is everyone's favorite bunny, Azumarill, with the max attack, max HP, Adamant Nature, huge power, his ability to double that attack stat. So sort of standard moveset because it is a fighting type Cinderace. We want to have Fairy Tera and Play Rough so we can do some stab super effective damage, and Belly Drum. So turn 1, we're going to cut our HP in half to maximize our attack stat. Now, the other 2 moves are actually really interesting. And if you don't know, Tickle is actually really solid in this raid because it's going to lower the Cinderace's attack and defense stats. So it means we're going to take hits better and we're going to do more damage back to it. So I think Tickle's going to be really viable here. In the last slot, I like Helping Hand, especially when you are playing online with people, because let's say you just died and you come back and you'd have like an Azumarill or someone else who's up. You can just Helping Hand them and give them that big damage boost, and that could be the difference between you winning or losing the raid. Item is going to be Shell Bell because it's going to allow us to get all that HP back on the next turn when we hit with that Play Rough after we use a Belly Drum. So pretty much going to put us back at full HP, which is going to be a great position for Azumarill. And of course, Fairy Tera as well. Next up is Pelipper, which I didn't think this Pokemon would be that good, but honestly, looking at it, it could be really viable in this raid. So Pelipper here is going to be max HP, max special attack with a modest nature, and the ability Drizzle is going to set the rain, which is going to boost the damage of water moves and also cut in half the damage of fire moves. So we're going to resist fire, and it's going to be even further weakened, so we don't have to worry about any fire moves for the team for the most part. And because the rain is going to be up, we're going to be hitting stab super effective hurricanes, which will not miss. Hurricane is going to hit like a truck with base 110 power. And then Chilling Water is going to be used here as well. It's going to be stab, rain boosted Chilling Water. And because they remove Scald from every Pokemon's moveset, they actually put in this new move, Chilling Water, which will lower the opponent's attack stat by 1 stage. So we can be sort of a support mon by spamming Chilling Waters to make the Cinderace damage really weak, which is going to be fantastic. And then we have some survivability with the Pelipper too. We can Roost to get 50% HP back, and Aqua Ring, which will give us some HP back every turn, essentially like a Leftovers, which is going to be really nice. And our item is going to be a Damp Rock, which is going to increase the turns that Rain is out for. So that's going to be really useful. And we're going to go Flying Tera to get that Hurricane boosted Terastallized. And next up is Slowking, which I'm running a little bit more of a defensive variant compared to the Slowbro. The cool thing about Slowking over Slowbro is it gets the move Reflect. which is going to be really nice against Cinderace, who's all physical. So we're going max HP, max special attack, but you can go max HP, max defense if you want to go that route too, with the ability Oblivious. And Reflect, as I mentioned, going to be very important. Give us essentially a team-wide +2 defense until it goes away. You could run Light Clay to get that Reflect to last longer if you're down for that. And Psychic Terrain is going to be really nice too to prevent Sucker Punch from going off and to boost your team's psychic damage. We do have Terrain Extender for that reason to further boost the length of Psychic Terrain. Now, you could run Slack Off here to heal yourself, and there also is Heal Pulse to heal the teammates as well. But you can also run a Psychic move here to get the benefits of Psychic Terrain and to do some stab super effective damage as well. Chilling Water is going to be really nice because it will do stab damage and it will lower the attack stat of the Cinderace. So you could mess around with this moveset a bit. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of good moves for this, so you can sort of make it your own. But if you had to make one change, then I would highly recommend just removing Slack Off and then putting Psychic on here, because you do have Cheers to heal yourself, and with the Reflect up, you're going to be pretty bulky already, so you'll be able to take those hits nice and well. And the last Pokemon I want to mention is Cinderace, because a lot of people are talking about how great Cinderace is going to be. I think Cinderace is going to be pretty good, but you do want to get a Psychic Tera on Cinderace, and I'm going to put the item Expert Belt, which will deal more damage for super effective hits, which is going to be really nice because we are going to be running the move Psycho Cut. So max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature on the Cinderace with Flash Fire. We're going to be immune to fire. We're going to be immune to fighting because we are a ghost type. So that is why this Pokemon is really special. We get Swords Dance, which is going to increase our attack stat by 2 stages. We also get Reflect, which is also like a nice support tech. And you could also put Will-O-Wisp here too. I think Reflect overall is better just because you can't miss Reflect. Unless, of course, like I said, the Cinderace has Court Change. Then you want to make this Will-O-Wisp. Psycho Cut is going to be our big damage dealing move, especially with the Expert Belt and the Psychic Tera. Bitter Blade is here to recover our HP, and it's going to be stab for us. And with some Swords Dance, we're going to be taking back a lot of HP. So there's a lot of good self-sustain on Cinderace. I think the only downside of Cinderace is there really isn't a good Pokemon that has Screech in this support meta for Cinderace. So you're not going to be in a +6, -6 situation, which is what Cinderace really wants. But I do think it's going to be great overall. And maybe if you have some Azumarill running Tickle, you can get some defense drops and you can do a lot more damage. Well, guys, those are my 6 main Pokemon for the Cinderace raid starting on December 30th for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Of course, there's going to be other Pokemon who are going to be great for sure. But of course, guys, if you like this type of video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a great one.